Aftermath. You suck. A mashup of those two, you know what's good. And I've got like a shit ton of Deathbattles to watch, but this is by far the hypest. I know a lot of people asked this ever since the Akuma versus Shang Tsung episode, where they're like, "Hey, dude, it should be Akuma versus Shao Kahn," you know. And this is a hype as hell. I gotta see this shit now. And there's also Shao Kahn in the previous video, Shao Kahn versus M Bison. Shao Kahn took it, makes sense. And then in the Akuma versus Shang Tsung, it was Akuma who came on top. But now the question is, Akuma versus Shao, who's gonna win? Now see, I'm well versed in the mythos and the lore of both Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. So those who know Shao Kahn, especially in in the New Netherrealm era, they recall him as kind of a jobber. You know, those are usually the words associated with his character now, which is unfortunate because in the Midway era he was actually quite imposing and actually was a serious threat. You know, a type of guy that both Quan Chi and Shang Tsung need to take down. And even that they didn't take him down, that was his supposed death, and that was only there. They only made that scene so it can show the true power and the threat of the Deadly Alliance. That if they can take down Shao Kahn, because back in the day, arcade kids, kids who are now like middle-aged people, kids whose kids are playing Mortal Kombat 11, they recall Shao Kahn as just the almighty emperor. Like, there's a reason Outworld won 9 times in a row until Liu Kang showed up, right? It's because of Shao, right? It's because of Shao Kahn. It's also because of Goro, but whatever. But that's basically what's going on, right? But nowadays, they kind of butchered Shao Kahn. They massacred my boy. Look how they massacred my boy. And that's the only reason I'm still playing him in MK11, because it's the loyalty, to Shao Kahn. Because he cannot be replaced, Kolo Kahn was an effort, but in his debut game, they ruined him. The only time he was badass was in the MKX comic. After that, it was just... It was Shit's Creek for Kolo Kahn, right? We're gonna have to talk about Aftermath. That was an absolute shit show. But basically, regardless of what it is MK11, I don't even accept that as a real Shao Kahn. But putting all that shit aside, Shao Kahn is extremely powerful. His power levels, I do not understand yet. But I do know that he did beat M. Bison, and he has like thousands of years of combat experience and strategy for like holding an army. And like, there's a reason he didn't go overthrow it for a very long time, And he's not just like a big hunk of muscle. He's actually like a strategist as well, which is why he tried to take down Onaga, right? And then he waited for Shujinko to weaken him, and then he swoop in and got the Power Blaze, right? So he's like not an idiot, right? A lot of people who play the newer games and Arrested, they would come down that impression, right? That impression would be on them that he's an idiot, right? Despite looking imposing, but he really isn't, because he's brain dead oaf, right? So that's all I gotta say about Shao Kahn. As of who's gonna win, I literally have no idea, because Akuma's badass. He transcends to Oni. He becomes Oni, right? Which is like, Akuma's already his super form, and then Oni's like his super duper form. Right, so it's like every death battle nowadays, they're so neck and neck. Like, I can't even put my money on anything without dying 100 times. Dying 1,000 times. Dying 1,000 deaths. I want to get this one out of the way first because this is by far the most hype one, right? And I definitely want to see this one the most. With that being said, no idea who's going to win. I just want to see it. I want to see where they take the fight this time. It's going to be like 3D, 2D, what's going on. But either way, who wins, I don't care. I'm going to have a good time, right? 3, 2, 1.
The Union will assault Los Angeles in 48 hours. And we have... the 5 of you. Genlock may not be of use anymore.
This'll be the end of the line.
Where you gonna run when the sky falls?
What's going on? Michael B. Jordan? I know all these people.
If I'm gonna die, I'll go down fighting.
Yeah, that's Michael B. Jordan.
Show us.
Genlock, HBO Max original, huh? Yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah, let's get it.
Akuma, Street Fighter Supreme Master of the Fist.
Damn straight.
Shao Kahn, Conqueror of Mortal Kombat.
There he is.
Today, we'll find out which final boss reigns supreme.
He's with
God, they're so
that
badass,
boomstick.
man.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Oh yeah, they use the MK11. Oh, that's awesome. I love his MK11
This
design.
is the
The
Japanese
half dragon
kanji
thing?
for heaven,
Yeah, kanji.
symbolic of the infinite sky above and the one who stands before it.
And the last thing you'll ever see when you meet Akuma.
Yep.
Trained by Master Gotetsu at an early age, Akuma was practically born into the ways of fighting.
Sick.
He and his brother Goken were taught the form of Ansatsuken, literally meaning the assassination
Assassination fist.
fist.
You know, everybody says martial arts are all about meditation and being zen and all that other boring shit. Well, Ansatsuken ain't like the other guys. It combines judo, kenpo, and karate into a unique style that's all about murdering your opponent as fast as possible. Hell yeah.
Unfortunately,
Hell yeah.
the brothers' views on their training greatly differed. Goken rejected the violent methodology of the Ansatsuken, leaving to develop his own, less lethal variant of the form.
Because a
Power
style
of
called
nothingness.
Assassination Fist clearly needed less assassination. Yeah. Good thing Akuma was all about the real deal. He got so hardcore he started training to embrace the biggest martial arts secret out there.
The Satsui no Hado.
Sweet.
Ever present, ever malicious, this is a manifestation of literal killing intent. Only Gotetsu had ever mastered this dark power.
So it's like the dark side of the force, but with karate?
No, but sure. With the Satsui no Hado, Akuma gained great power at the cost of all compassion.
God
This is the power of monsters.
Yeah.
More like winners. Akuma got
Like,
so
in
good
One
he
Punch Man?
challenged his master and killed him.
How they became monster-
With his
monsters.
ex-master's beads around his neck, he declared himself the new master of the Satsui
That
no
he killed his
Hado.
master, huh?
Obviously, this destroyed his relationship with Goken. The two brothers' destinies, let alone ideologies, were irreparably torn apart.
But who cares when Akuma's perfected all the abilities of an overpowered Shoto character and then some? He can rain down Go Hadoukens, teleport
Oh God,
with
it
the
looks cool,
Ashura
man.
Senku, and take you for a whirl with the Tatsumaki Zankyukaku.
And if Akuma ever wants to take things up a notch, he can summon forth the Kongo Kokoretsuzo, a geyser of pure energy strong enough to sink an island.
Yeah, I know that.
With all this power, Akuma is among the toughest street fighters out there.
Which says a lot when Hakan could loop himself up with enough oil to, get this, launch E-Honda into orbit to headbutt a giant meteor into smithereens. Well, there's only one way to figure out the TNT of that.
Bruh.
I've got the oil whiz, get ready to launch.
Oh, that's okay. I've already done the math. It's over 500 trillion tons.
Oh, can we still do it though?
Fine.
Bruh.
But did you know Akuma's also traded blows with some of the folks from Final Fight? I guess they're street fighters
Guy.
too. And the macho mayor Mike Hagar can pile drive people so hard, it makes an explosion you can see from space.
Bruh.
Comparing the blast size to Earth's diameter, this explosion must have a yield of over 120 teratons of TNT.
That might seem nuts, but hey, Akuma's done the same kind of thing. No wonder the only guys who can match him are badasses like Goken.
Akuma would
Yeah.
challenge Goken again and again, determined to prove his version of the Ansatsuken was superior. And apparently, he was right, as he defeated Goken with his signature
Defeated
technique, the Shun
Goku Satsu.
AKA the Raging Demon.
With this, Akuma gives in to his killing intent, targeting a person's soul and killing their spirit with the weight of their sins. There is only one known way to survive it, emptying your own soul from your body. Fortunately, Goken knew exactly how to do that.
Speaking of
Sweet.
souls, this guy Nakali once tried to take Akuma's by devouring him.
Bruh.
But not being into Vor, Akuma just blew him up.
Thank you.
instead.
Thank you for not
He's
being
so
into
powerful,
Vor. Who's
defeating
into
an
that
opponent
shit,
takes
bro?
less effort than smacking a baby. Not that Akuma would ever do that. No, I'm serious. He never would because despite the whole zero compassion thing, he has a weird code of honor.
It's not compassion at all. To Akuma, fighting is a sort of religion, and respecting the art is more important than anything. He'll spare those with an unfair disadvantage, and those whom he deems respects martial arts like him and can improve. In this way, he sort of became an unwanted mentor for Goken's student Ryu.
Hey, he's not a total killjoy. He did befriend Elena. Well, more like Elena befriended him, but whatever.
But should you disrespect
That
the art
happened?
of fighting, Akuma will not hesitate to murder you as disrespectfully as possible.
Like
Bruh.
when he jumped
He's gonna
that
teabag
hill
on your
and
ass.
Bison so fast he killed him in one shot. And Bison was quick enough to tag this satellite laser beam.
Following the beam speed at this angle, we can determine it was moving well over 5,000 times the speed of sound.
But even with all that power, Akuma knew he'd never be at his best until he'd mastered the Satsui no Hado and become Akuma Blanco.
Shin Akuma?
Shin Akuma.
Yeah, Shin Akuma.
As Shin Akuma, he possesses full control over the dark art, using it to its fullest extent.
Only Gotetsu had ever mastered the Hado like this, because doing it is not just super difficult, but super dangerous.
Right. The Satsui no Hado isn't just a form of energy. It is a sentient entity,
Kage, huh?
striving to push those who connect with it to fully commit to their rage.
That's what Kage is,
For
huh?
when they do, they are no longer themselves. They become the Satsui no Hado itself.
Bruh.
Yeah, like when it tried to take over Ryu and manifest it as its own evil person, Kage.
Yeah.
Akuma truly believes the Hado is his best chance at becoming the ultimate world warrior, but he also knows that if he's not careful, he could lose himself to it.
And when he does, the Hado will take his body
Oni,
and
huh?
become the awesome, demonic Oni.
Awesome, man.
Oni
Look
is
how
super
badass that
powerful.
looks.
Oni's got all sorts of new moves and can easily overpower pretty much any other Street Fighter.
In Japanese folklore, Oni are yokai,
Goblins.
demons that spawn
Like,
from
yeah.
the souls of the wicked upon death. However, in
Damn.
some legends, the most evil of humans can actually transform while still alive,
Bruh.
such as Shuten Doji, a drunken monk who gave in to malice, became an Oni, and was so powerful he could not die,
Bruh.
even after he was decapitated.
Bruh.
Not so different from this big bad blue boy. But hey, Akuma hasn't
Japanese
lost
Rasputin.
himself to the dark side of the Hado yet. The dude split apart mountains, taking a leisurely trip to the bottom of the ocean, and literally leaped into the land above the clouds. He just jumped and he was there. Forget standing before heaven. This dude straight up flies above it.
Bruh.
Akuma's lust for battle will likely never be sated, but his chosen path has been set. He will either be the world's deadliest man or its bleakest failure. Until then, he will never stop searching for a foe who can challenge the might of his Satsui no Hado.
The Street Fighter 5 one has to be like one of the best, man. You can see it's just happening, bro, and then that. Done, dead, bro. You're not coming back from that.
The realm of Outworld is a twisted, barren
Ooh,
wasteland
MKLF in
where
2021,
only the
not good.
strong survive.
Definitely at the bottom of my list of places to go when I retire, and it's all thanks to the tyrannical ruler, Shao Kahn.
You
Thousands
suck.
of years ago, Shao Kahn was an advisor to the Dragon King,
Onaga.
Until Onaga took a permanent nap when Khan poisoned him and claimed the throne all his own.
Damn
Now,
straight.
that's what I call climbing the political ladder.
Yep.
With an
That's how
army
the
of
mafia
demonic
works.
Tarkatans and four-armed Shokans at his beck and call, Shao Kahn began conquering and merging other realms with Outworld, including the once idyllic paradise of Edenia.
Edenia.
After which he hooked up with Edenia's queen, Sindel. But his conquest didn't just win him a traitorous MILF. The crafty bastard
MILF?
also picked up a ton of awesome powers.
Hell yeah.
Khan is a deceptive leader who isn't afraid to resort to, quite frankly, dickish methods to achieve his devious goals.
Yeah.
He's basically a wrestling heel in the form of an otherworldly invader, right down to dressing like a male stripper.
And despite living on a completely different plane of existence, he's somehow mastered two Chinese martial arts, Daizu and Liu Wei, both of which prioritize fast and aggressive strikes to overwhelm opponents.
But Khan's real bread and butter is his mastery of magic. He can shoot fireballs, create portals, make you his telekinetic yo-yo, bounce projectiles back to sender, and conjure his signature hammer whenever he wants.
With his Wrath Hammer, Khan can crush even the strongest combatants
With a K!
to pieces with
With a
his
K.
brutal fatality.
Never forget the K.
But perhaps his most iconic ability is taking souls.
With just a wave of his hand, he can dine on some fine soul food, courtesy of whatever sap crossed his path.
Khan went far with these abilities, and it wasn't long before his conquering eye caught sight of a little planet called Earthrealm.
But first, his forces had to rack up enough wins in Hit the Music Whiz.
We don't have the licensing rights.
Combat! Best
Stop
remix.
there so we don't get sued.
Outworld
We don't get
almost had
sued.
the 10 consecutive wins needed to
tough,
merge
man.
with Earth.
But the goody two-shoes monk Liu Kang
Yeah.
just had to ruin it all. But Khan just
Goody
said,
two-shoes?
screw it, and invaded Earth anyway.
Yeah.
The moment Khan set foot on Earth, he stole the souls of nearly every human being on the planet.
Then physically merged Earthrealm and Outworld into one big melting pot of conquest.
Bruh.
The exact meaning of merging realms is a little vague, but from Mortal Kombat 3's intro, we do know that it transforms the planet into part of Outworld itself.
Oh wow, that's pretty
But
sick. I didn't
even
know
when
that.
he's not literally folding worlds together, Khan is always a threat to behold.
Rip Kung Lao,
far
man.
superior to
Rip
most
Kodo
of the
Khan.
combatants.
He's a cocky asshole, but damn, he sure knows how to get stuff done.
Yep.
He's one-shotted Johnny Cage and Sonya Blade, survived being impaled, broke Kotal Khan's back,
Yeah.
and has consistently surpassed the likes of the Thunder God, Raiden.
Oh, being all thundery is as fast as lightning. Khan could even hold his own when Raiden held the power of all the Elder Gods.
For context, the Elder Goddess Cetrion can grow as large as a planet and fire this hyper-fast laser, which, comparing its speed to the curvature of the Earth, can smite mortals at 2% the speed of light.
Oh, you know you're a big shot when actual gods think you're a pain. Look at him go!
Don't mistake powerful with invincible. Khan's might is only matched by his arrogance.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really does love to hear himself
The
talk,
cocky bastard.
even when it leaves him totally open.
You
I guess
suck.
he doesn't consider the consequences of his constant taunting.
Is that your best?
I thought it was funny.
You suck.
You suck.
Moving on. Even if it can get the better of him, Khan has proven his arrogance isn't completely unfounded. After ages of conflict, all of the combatants fought in a final clash of good versus evil.
And Khan emerged as the last man
Armageddon,
standing.
yeah?
It was there that he defeated Blaze, an all-powerful elemental who threatened every realm in existence.
Luckily for the good guys, Raiden had a way to basically go back in time and try to stop Khan from winning in the first place. That's right, Khan was such a big threat, the only way to beat him was a complete do-over.
And
Bruh.
even with that victory now a non-existent memory, Shao Kahn will never relent. Even death has never stopped this conqueror from his ultimate quest to rule everything.
Rip Takeda.
I am Khan of Outworld. Vacate my throne.
Oh,
or I'll
soak these sands in your blood.
blood.
Here we go, let's go. This is hype as hell, man.
Commands are set and we've run through all possibilities.
But first, if you're wanting the kind of confidence it'd take to rule Outworld, check out Blue Chew.
This episode is brought to you by Blue Chew.
Here's a life hack for you. Confidence will take you far.
And that's why Blue Chew delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis in chewable tablet form right to your door.
You know what
And did we mention you
you're
can get Blue
talking
Chew's
about.
tablets at a fraction of the cost of those other guys?
Getting
You're
ready to go
talking
is simple.
about
Just sign up at BlueChew.com,
sex.
consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're
I know
approved,
what
you'll receive
sex
your prescription
is,
within
but
days.
Plus,
I'm
it's
not
all done
gonna
online,
tell
which means no more
you.
awkward conversations with your doctor or waiting in line at the pharmacy.
And you can take Blue Chew anytime, day or night, so you can plan ahead or be ready whenever.
So if you could benefit from extra confidence when it's time to perform,
Extra
Blue Chew
confidence.
can help.
And we've got a special deal for you. Try Blue Chew free when you use our promo code BATTLE at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping.
That's BlueChew.com, promo code BATTLE to receive your first month free.
Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. Thanks for sponsoring the show, Blue Chew.
But right now,
It's time for a death battle. Let's go, man. This is gonna be hype as hell. I can't wait to see this shit.
Die 1,000 death.
Yes! You're done, son. Go home. Yeah, the animation just keeps getting better.
You dare interrupt my tournament.
Ooh.
Another fool seeking my throne.
Ooh, the voice though.
I only seek your life.
That's Tekken 7 Akuma and that's MK11 Shao Kahn. It's so weird seeing MK11 Shao Kahn when there was hammer. Like, bruh. Awesome. Bruh. Do breakaway and then punish him for that. Why don't you just breakaway, Akuma? You know this is gonna be bombastic. If only Khan was this fast in MK11, huh? Then he'd be top tier.
Is that your best? Weak, pathetic
Bruh. Ooh, Shin Akuma, let's go. The problem is the first person to power up is usually the first one to fall as well. So let's see how it goes. Look at the backbreaker. Ooh, yeah, there it is. New Fatal, I like it.
Your soul is mine. No.
Eat it, Shang Tsung.
Satsui no Hado is mine.
Oh. Shao Kahn didn't even power up yet. I'm like, did he power up? Oh, he's Oni now. I mean, like, I don't know. I really don't know who's gonna win this though. Right now it seems like Oni has the upper hand, but you know that usually what usually happens is whoever powers up first is crushing blow, right? Oh. Yeah, he's been through that before. Okay, you know it's not over yet. Does he still have a hole in his chest? There it is. Goku Satsu. Oh.
Feel the wrath of Shao
Oh, let's see it. The Seeking Wrath Hammer. There goes your arm, buddy. I'll take that shit. Ooh. Ooh.
flawless victory.
Fatality. Oh shit, it is Shao Kahn.
Now that's what I call a fatality.
With the power of the Satsui no Hado, Akuma was a unique challenge for Shao Kahn.
Yeah, like how he resisted Nakali suggests Khan couldn't have just yanked his soul away so easy.
Yeah.
And Akuma's level of power was nothing to scoff at either.
Uh-huh.
Akuma's biggest hits were way stronger than you'd think, blasting apart meteors and making explosions seen from space. But Khan survived blasts from beings even more powerful than that, like the Elder Gods, who can grow to the size of planets. And remember Blaze? He could destroy all the realms, and even did in one of his endings.
And while Blaze's story ending isn't canon to the Mortal Kombat universe in and of itself, it is still an example of what could happen in canon.
And Khan whooped that red-hot ass.
While we do not have an exact time frame for Blaze's destruction of the realms, destroying Earthrealm alone would require at least overcoming Earth's gravitational binding energy, or about 47.8 zetatons of TNT.
I know what that is.
Over
I know what that is.
300 million times the power of the Teraton explosion from Akuma's lineup.
And keep in mind, when Khan merges realms, he is literally morphing an entire planet into Outworld.
No.
Sorry,
Get up.
wait,
Get up.
wait,
Get
It
up. Get up.
makes sense he could defeat Blaze, because he already commands a similar level of power.
But I know what you're thinking. What about the Raging Demon, Akuma's awesome finishing move? Shao Kahn has racked up more than enough sin in his time for it to totally murder his soul.
Yeah, definitely.
There was always a possibility that Akuma would get a lucky hit in with the Shungoku Satsu. However, given Khan can keep up with the likes of Elder Gods and their space lasers, he could certainly keep pace with Akuma.
Yeah.
And sure, Khan's an arrogant son of a bitch, but he knows when to get serious.
Yeah.
If his arrogance was that big of an issue, he wouldn't have conquered so many realms.
Both Akuma and Khan were among the best of the best
Yeah.
in their respective worlds,
Yep.
but this match ultimately came down to who would land their killing blow first. Shao Kahn's overwhelming power, mystical abilities, and treacherous strategies were enough to claim this victory.
Outworld's Emperor was the only one who could surpass Akuma.
The winner is Shao Kahn.
There you have it. Shao Kahn is the guy, man. And this, you know, it's even more sad when you see the current state of Shao Kahn. He is like, he's brain dead, man. So now you see shit like this, that you know, Shao Kahn can actually just destroy Akuma, right? Which is like arguably one of the strongest people in these Street Fighter lore and shit, whatever you want to call it, right? So it really is sad how they massacred my boy, our boy. He's our boy, right? But you know, I wasn't there to witness Shao Kahn's might because I wasn't alive back in the years when it came out. But I'm aware of it. I'm all too aware of it, and the guy just looks awesome. It's really sad, you know. I hope MK12 brings back Shao Kahn. You can't have an MK game without Shao Kahn, right? I like Shao Kahn more than Shao Kahn's my favorite MK villain. Like, come on. And to do a disservice like that, it really is heartbreaking. You know, like, it's not good, man. It's not good. Anyways, that was Akuma versus Shao Kahn. Who came out on top? You found out it was Shao the entire time. A little skeptic. I didn't know who's gonna win, but now I do know. And yeah, this once again proves my fact. Whoever starts hitting the blows first, the hardest hitting moves first, and levels up first, they're usually the first to fall down. So if that happens in any other death battle, you know who's gonna win, right? Unless they pull a fast one on us, a curveball, then we have no idea what the hell is going on. But regardless, we still got a couple more. We got like Goku Black versus Reverse Flash, We got Korra versus Storm. We got Dio versus Alucard. Didn't see that shit. Right? I think that's the only Death Battles I have until the next one. So until that time, later.